Thank you, Stan, and we're back again with the fourth group of FFA members from Salem High School as we continue FFA Day on KSMO. This day is really possible thanks to the many sponsors, and I've said this a number of times, so I'm going to say it again, and hopefully Melba will hear me. I want to find out how many sponsors we have on the day to make this possible on KSMO, and Melba will get that information to me here sometime during this segment or later today. But we do have, Tori's going to read to us just a small segment of the total sponsors we have for this day. Tori?
Roberts Judson Lumber Company, 72 Farm Center, Duncan Family Chiropractic, Godey Excavating LLC, Salem Community Center at the Armory, Chilton Oil Company, New Life Auto, Salem License Bureau, Edwards Jones, Joe Brand, and Leah Nash, Financial Advisors.
Very good. Now I'm going to ask each of you, if you would, it doesn't matter who goes first, there's nothing, sometimes we pick on the person in the group that's in the minority. So they lots of times go first, whoever that might be. Ty says, I bet you're picking on me. But this, you don't have to. I'm just kind of trying to lighten the mood a little bit. Tell the folks your name, you're in school, a little bit about yourself. That could be, who your family is, just anything you can think of that you'd like our listening and viewing audience to know about you so they have a better idea who you are. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Go, Ty.
I'm Ty Rouse. I'm a sophomore in Salem High School. I'm originally from Houston, but moved here when I was about 3. I was kind of back and forth. Dad still lives in Houston, so I'm back and forth all the time. Worked on a farm all my life, and like them old antique tractors. I like to fiddle around with them.
Okay. We'll have some conversation going back to school about those. So that's Ty Rouse. Okay. Who's next?
I'm Tori Schaefer. I'm a junior this year. I've been in FFA all 3 years of high school and officer for the last 2 of them. I've served as reporter 2 years in a row. I'm Bradley and Amber Schaefer's oldest daughter. I work on our family farm. My SAE is beef ownership. I own a few cows of my own. And I have an agribusiness. I started a cleaning business this August and started doing that and making my own way in this world.
Okay. Very good. That's Tori. Who's next?
I'm next. I'm Saray Goodson, and I'm in 11th grade. I do food science as my SAE. I work at Subway, so you see me there sometimes, maybe. I also have a agribusiness. I make keychains, personalized on the side. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Good job. All right. We're down to 2 ladies left.
My name
it's neat. It's neat. Who's next?
I'll go. So, I'm very different from Tori. I was not raised on a farm. My parents did not do FFA at all, you know. But I joined because I seen how much fun it looked, and other people said it was fun. So, I just kind of took the influence from friends from older grades that said it was a good experience, and I did it, and I liked it, and I've been in it for the past 3 years.
Okay. Well put. Different
Yep.
reason, but just as important as anybody else's reason. All right, who's next?
I was like raised because my mom
Mhm.
like in the FFA, and it's like good. I have like good experiences like with like all the speeches. Like I'm like terrified to talk in front of people, but now it's like getting better since I did like the speeches like, and I went to districts and stuff. So like public speaking and gaining leadership and just skills that you wouldn't get in like up in the school up top, but in the ag building you will get. And so just experiences and friendships and stuff like that.
A little different world down the ag building
Yeah.
than the rest of the
Better.
school. Better. And she's not prejudiced at all, I'm sure. That's quite all right. All right, who's next?
I'll go. I kind of grew up on a farm. My grandpa has always raised cattle. I saw my friends doing it. My older brother is involved in FFA, and it looked like a lot of fun. I feel like there's a lot of things that you can take. There's a lot of takeaways from it. A lot of things you can learn.
All right, very good.
Well, I was raised on a farm. I've been around animals my entire life. You know, both my parents, my grandparents, my aunts, and we're all ag kids, FFA kids. They, throughout all high school, I did something that I wanted to do based off what I heard, and I thought it was going to be a really fun experience, and everything that I've done so far has been great. I've loved doing it.
All right, it's kind of interesting to think about this group of five and the fact that their backgrounds are different. The reasons for being involved in ag education FFA, some differences there, but some of them very similar, and all positive comments about their involvement in ag education FFA. Of course, about each group, I try to make sure that our listeners and viewers, because we wind up with a different group of listeners and viewers, thanks to different students being in here, and they've let their parents know or grandparents that they're doing this today. I want to make sure that folks understand that what ag education is in FFA. Now, can one of you explain to me the difference in ag education and FFA? Nobody? Okay, what's ag ed?
I can try. So, ag ed is like where you're learning about the like animals and plants and just the agricultural part. Like you're learning
Different.
about agriculture.
Agricultural topics
Yes.
and subject matter, okay?
And then FFA is like a group that is outside of that, honestly. It's not, they're put together, but they're different. Yeah. So the FFA does different stuff than the ag class, if that makes sense. Like they do ag stuff, like the contest teams, that's ag based, like the cattle groups and yeah. And then the ag class, you don't have to be an FFA to take it. So you can pick and choose.
All right.
That's
I think that gives folks a
Yep.
good idea about. And then once you get into ag ed, then it's up to you whether you will become an FFA member, obviously. Well, tell us about some of your favorite FFA activities, and I encourage you all to really come up with some, because the other groups today really, I'm not being negative, just that I've not had as many different FFA activities discussed as we have in some years past. So what's been some of your favorite FFA activities? And of course, the easy thing to do here, folks, is if you go first, then you take somebody else's activity that they've already thought that they want to talk about.
So
Natalie.
I got to go to the fantasy feedlot a few weeks ago in Columbia with a few other kids, and we went up there and we went to the place, and they talked to us about like how to judge the cattle and like what they need to look like and like the expectations and like what they need to be fed and how they need to be fed, and like we learned a bunch, and I think that was really cool. And then we got to go out to the South Farm up there on the university, and we got to like pick the cattle, and we got to see like, okay, this one has a bad leg, so we're not going to pick that one, but this one has like the EPDs are good, and like that was a super good experience, and it was also fun, and we had lots of fun on the trip.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that particular event, but that's good.
Yes.
All right. Different one. Other folks, your favorite things you've done in FFA?
I mean, I could go on and on about this forever because I do just about everything and anything because I love it. But my favorite is probably National Convention. It's just so big. There's so much that you don't know and you don't see because we're more of a livestock area. We don't have a lot of crops. So going up there, we tour crop farms, we tour orchards, we look at so many different things that we don't get to see every day in our world. And it really shows you how big the agricultural industry is. So I absolutely love that one. Another one that's been really big for me is Beef Days and getting to teach the kids what we see and what we do, because not everyone comes from the background some of us do. And so showing these little kids what makes the world go around is really cool to show them, you know, these are what we raise, this is how you get your hamburger, you know, and it really, I don't know, it really changes your outlook on life once you get to see, like, not everyone's like you, and not everything is like what you're raised around.
I think one of the neatest things about ag education and FFA, and Tori, you've kind of alluded to it a bit, is you guys will wind up being ambassadors for agriculture. You don't have an agricultural background. Saray doesn't really prior to ag education and FFA. Yet I am 100% sure you've gained a new appreciation for what goes on in agriculture and FFA. And for our radio listeners, her head is going up and down in agreement with what I'm saying. And so those watching on the video stream, I'm sure you're seeing that. So you will all wind up being ambassadors. We've got to remember that in our country, if you looked at 100 people, how many of them would be, on the average, would be farmers?
Very few.
Well, give me a number.
3 out of 10, maybe.
It's lower.
1 out of 10.
It's lower.
0.5 out of 10.
It's still lower, but you're closer. It's actually 3/10. Now, no, there's no such thing as 3/10 of a person, but if you go up to 1,000, then you start saying it's only 3. So it's a minority population, but it's got to have a majority of ambassadors, and that's what I charge you with is, as you go through life, whatever your occupation, we'll talk about what your future plans are, as long as I don't talk too long. I charge you with being an ambassador for agriculture, a positive ambassador for agriculture. Okay, other activities. I'm sorry, I'm kind of got a little lengthy on that. Other activities that you have enjoyed. Anybody else?
So last year I did the Food for America. That is still my favorite activity. I just liked going to the other schools and talking about what my topic was. I had corn. I did a presentation about it and brought in some different types of corn. I just thought it was really fun and just a good experience altogether.
And you learned things about corn you had no idea about yourself. Okay, that's cool. All right. Anyone else?
Well, I haven't been to a whole lot of activities just because I'm bad about falling behind in school, so I don't go to a lot of activities. I went to what they call the Governor's Tractor Parade yesterday in Jeff City, and we got to tour the Capitol. That was really fun. Spoke to the governor, and that was just a really fun experience overall. Just getting to see Capitol and everything that goes on inside of it and all around it. We got to go up to the top and go around the outside of it, and it was a really fun experience.
Sounds like it. Sure does sound like it. All right. Anyone else? Raven, got anything to share?
Activity-wise, being a freshman, I didn't do much this year. I'm really looking forward to next year, being more involved in the activities, but definitely won't forget like all the meetings and stuff. That kind of changed my perspective the first time I went to a regular FFA meeting. It was a lot different than anything I'd been to before, even to 4-H wise. It was different. It kind of opened my eyes to what else was out there.
Okay, cool. See a variety of different experiences and activities that these folks have been involved in, and I think that, again, is another important point that we need to make about agricultural education FFA. It does provide a variety of educational opportunities for students involved in it. What have you found to be the most challenging thing, most difficult part of ag education and/or FFA?
Well, honestly, the most challenging thing is this week. We stay busy all week. I don't think I've hardly been home this week between going to work and going to FFA stuff because we just stay busy, and it's really good for us and for the community. We did a fish fry for the community to give back to those that give to us. And I really admire that we do stuff like that and see what we get from the community and what we can give back. And it was a good experience, but we just stay busy constantly.
You mentioned community, and Melba did give me the number sign a while ago. There are 54 sponsors of today, FFA Day on KSMO, and that just gives you a little bit of an idea of the support that people in this community have for agricultural education and FFA. Anyone else? Something that's been challenging or difficult for you? Has it all been just...
Well, there's only one thing that's kind of difficult about class is keeping up with your record book. If you fall a month behind, you're going to have to re-find everything up that you've done that past month and for the next month. That's
Good point.
about
Yeah.
it.
You get behind, you're going to stay behind.
Yep.
Get caught up, and it just keeps... That mountain keeps getting bigger. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Everything else been pretty smooth and easy for the rest of us. That's good. Now, I know it hasn't. I'm being facetious, but, sometimes we don't think about the fact that the creed was difficult for me, but it wasn't for somebody else. But that's life. That's the way things work out. Let's turn our attention to career development events. What career development events, contest teams, have you been involved in? What are you involved in for this spring?
Well, last year I didn't involve myself very much, and at least not as much as I should have throughout FFA. This year I'm in the livestock evaluation.
Okay, good. That'll be good training for you. Anyone else?
I did livestock my freshman year, which, thinking, oh, I know so much about cattle, and then you get there and they want to know stuff you didn't even know existed about something, was definitely challenging and interesting. This year, I don't think I've really decided yet. I kind of need to get that done and pick something. But, they're really good, and you learn more than you think you would going to look at a cow and tell something about it, or going to look at flowers, or all the different things you get to see and learn.
Okay.
Last year I did nursery landscaping. It was really hard. I did learn a lot of new stuff, but it was pretty hard, so you're going to have to study before you go into that one. This year I don't have one picked out. I might do it, I might not. We'll see.
Whatever it is, whatever area you're dealing with, preparation's the key to each and every one of them. And some of them are hard. I can identify with the nursery and landscape. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
I'm gonna do poultry. And then for like fall speeches, I did soil and water conservation,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to area, and then I got third, and then I got to move on to districts. But
Again, that's experience has helped you develop more
Yes.
self-confidence, a little less in
like
English.
Mom and Mr. Sanders were like, Dally, you need to do a speech. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then, like, it was, like, almost time to go to area, and I was like, oh, I got to get this speech done. So I was starting to write it, and then we were on the car ride down there, and they timed me because it cannot be over 8 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, 10:42. And I was like, oh, no, I am 2 minutes over. This is not good. So then we get down there, and I do like 7:42, and then I go to districts, and I got 7:15. So eventually it got better.
Well, I'm sure, might be wrong, I wasn't there, but I'm sure you sped up a bit.
Oh
when you
yes,
presented it
and
compared-
like when I went in the room, it was like it's like all the judges just like stare at you, and oh, that's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it sure
Ugh.
is. Oh my goodness. All right. Anything else in terms of? Let's talk about future plans. We're getting down to our last 2 to 3 minutes, and so let's talk about what your future plans are. And these can be plans for yet in ag education, FFA, or after high school. This is wide open, which direction you want to take. So, whomever.
I want to go to vet school maybe, and I still want to help on our family farm and get my own cattle going and just become a vet and come back here and maybe start my own business or work for somebody or just something in that area.
We just cannot, for some reason, cannot fill the need for veterinarians. So I'm pleased to hear you. That's a goal of yours. Hard work, long time. Hope you're successful at it. All right, others, your plans, your future plans. Yeah, in school or after high school.
Okay. After high school, I want to go get my RN. So I actually want to be an esthetician, but to give Botox, you have to have your RN. So I have to go get my RN first, and then I want to open my own shop and do beauty in the shop.
Okay.
Well, like Saray, I want to go get my RN, and I don't know, both my parents, along with being farmers or firefighter EMTs, so I've kind of seen a little bit of the medical world, and I got a little bit of a taste of it, and kind of started to like it. So I think I'm going to follow their footsteps a little bit and farm on the side and probably be an RN.
Okay. Cool.
Well, even though I've got medical in my family, I'm away from that. I'm gonna go to school and become a diesel mechanic. I've stayed at the agricultural side, work on tractors and
I got you.
stuff like that. Just
Good.
I like turning wrenches and have fun doing it. So
All right. Very good. Very good.
make a life out of it
That's an excellent plan.
and keep some farming on the side.
I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. I'm looking forward to the rest of my high school career being involved in ag and FFA. I know that I want to do something in the ag industry, just not sure what yet.
Well, you've got a little time, but if you think back, it's amazing how fast time disappears. I say that and get a little personal here, but I can remember Dolly's mom walking into the classroom one morning, and she'd been out the day before, and I said, well, you been sick? She said, yeah, but I'll be over it in 9 months. And that's when she was pregnant with you. So I can go back a long ways with many of you guys, and I know some of the rest of your family as well, families, and we have great appreciation for one another. We're down to the last minute actually. This group's done an excellent job. I'm going to ask Tori if she'd read that list one more time.
Roberts Judson Lumber Company, 72 Farm Center, Duncan Family Chiropractic, Godey Excavating LLC, Salem Community Center at the Armory, Chilton Oil Company, New Life Auto, Salem License Bureau, Edward Jones, Joe Brand, and Leah Nash, Financial Advisors.
All right, with that, I thank this group of 5. They've done an excellent job, and we're going to send you back to our station announcer. I think Krista's back on the board now. Yes, she is. So, Krista, take it away.